All right, beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be flying the Cessna SkyHook CH-1 by Cowan Sims. Super cool helicopter. In fact, it's the only helicopter ever made by Cessna, and it's really rare. I mean, some people haven't even heard of this thing. It's the Cessna SkyHook. So let's rock and roll and let's get into it. Here we go. One more thing before I forget, the Flight Sim Expo is taking place. Flight Sim Expo 2025 is in Providence, Rhode Island. If you guys are going, check it out, let me know. And if not, just follow the channel because I will be attending the event. I'm going to check out software, hardware, whatever's going on. I'll report back to you guys, so super excited about that. But let's pop off here some of these specs because I could not remember these. I tried to, I'm like, I'll just read them later. Cessna SkyHook CH-1 is Cessna's only helicopter. This was originally developed from an S4B design after Cessna acquired the Sable Helicopter Company in 1952. It first flew in July 1953, allowing Cessna to enter the rotary wing aircraft. And then we have the unique design, right? It's very unique with a front-mounted continental piston engine, providing a stable center of gravity and a distinct appearance. It really, I mean, it looks like a Cessna. So it said, record-setting altitude here in December 1957, the CH-1B variant set a piston-powered helicopter altitude record of 29,777 feet, the record that still stands to this day. I did not know that. I'm learning that right now. Thank you, ChatGPT. Military evaluations. The U.S. Army evaluated the 10 CH-1B's designs as a YH-41 Seneca for potential military applications. That's the delivery we're flying today. FAA certification became the first helicopter to receive FAA certification for instrument flight rules. This helicopter was the first helicopter to fly IFR. How cool is that? And how many were built? 50. Only 50 units were built for production, ceased in December 1962 due to a limited commercial and military interest. So I think there's one somewhere in a museum. You know, I don't know how Josh or Cowan, if you can, Josh, drop some comments below. Let me give us some background on how you created this amazing helicopter for us. And here we go. I'm done talking. Let's go for the flight. Peace out. Okay, so here we are. This is the Cessna SkyHook, the CH-1 by Cowan Sim. And all right, just getting the hang of it. So believe it or not, this is actually a grass strip here in Florida. I know that the buildings are kind of, or not the buildings, but the trees are kind of a little melted here. Kind of sometimes happens, but we'll rock and roll with it. Here we go, guys. Let us go cruise a little bit. Now, what a unique aircraft this is. Absolutely a fun aircraft when you consider the design, considering the fact that Cessna actually made a helicopter. Now, overall, I think, you know, Cowan is known for his quality helicopters, does a great job with the models, with the sounds. And it's funny because I think at one point, I don't know if it came up in conversation or somebody had asked, or it was discussed beforehand, you know, somebody had said, well, this helicopter, which was made by Cessna, there was only a handful of them made, a very small amount. And so there aren't any flying helicopters left. So then someone said, well, how do you know what it flies like? And actually, you know what? I did see that in the comments. Someone said, you know, how can we be accurate to the model when it literally is not flying? Like, you know, it's not like Joshua can go reach out and ask somebody, hey, what do you think of it? Oh, you know what? Hold on. I just realized. And this happens often. So check this. I'm not even going to edit this out. All right, hold on. Okay. So, I forgot to show on my motion rig, and I'm gonna leave that there because this is something really interesting that happens that I will start flying because of the butt kickers that are attached to my rig. I forget that my motion is on. Like, honest, I mean, I'm telling you, this just, it's unbelievable. Butt kickers add so much to the immersion of flight that I forget that my motion rig is on. I've been tricked several times thinking, oh man, this flight is amazing, only to realize, like it happened now, that I had my motion locked with the emergency lockout button. So that is absolutely hilarious. I realized when I just turned left that I didn't feel the turn. Like right now, we'll see it. There we go, baby. All right, so motion is there, but man, here we are, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, and overall, even though they don't have the actual helicopter model, I think it flies great. What can I say? I am not an expert in helicopters at all. If you guys are looking for more information on helicopters, I always want to defer you to Cowan Sims Helicopters. They have a great amount of high quality helicopters. And then on top of that, my buddy Sergio over at helisimmer.com. If you guys are not familiar with his work, he is a long-time helicopter enthusiast. I guess kind of the equivalent of what I am with virtual reality. He loves helicopters, and so he's my go-to person if I have a question, whether you want to learn about what hardware you should get, anything helicopter simulation related. Check him out. Has a lot of great articles. He does have some content on YouTube. And oh, check out that water tower right there. So we got an antenna over here to the right. And yeah, so overall, because of the fact that the sim is so well done and modeled, Josh was able to, you know, bring us a fairly decent helicopter model for us to enjoy, which is great. So that's something that I think speaks quality about the sim, about the fact that, you know, this game where the sim is so dang good that even though Joshua has never flown this helicopter, you know, has a horsepower rating, has a torque rating, you know, certain aerodynamics, and you know he I guess to a certain extent, you know, is able to kind of guess some of the other features. But yeah, look, I've never flown this helicopter, obviously, and look, a lot of us, when we jump into the sim, we've never flown some of these items, right? An F-16. I mean, how many hours do you have in your Viper? You know, you see these keyboard warriors pounding their chest knowing these systems, but the truth is, man, most of us, I mean, there is a small fraction of a fraction of a fraction of simmers who have actually flown these aircraft. So most of us are just enthusiasts sharing our passion for the hobby. So I'm gonna come in and make a landing over here. Looks kind of interesting in this little brown patch. I don't know if it's a good idea, but we're about to find out. And yeah, so overall, the helicopter feels good, flies good. I'm gonna go outside briefly so we can take a peek. I got this awesome livery going here. I think this is the one that Bell Geo did. All right, yeah. So let me talk a little bit about this motion rig. Man, the DOF H3 guys, right now I'm rocking the Moza force feedback. Like, you see that shaking right here? That I feel that in my hand, and it is just unbelievable. I'm able to come through for a very nice gentle touchdown through these floating rocks. Oh, let's see. Okay, there we go. All right, man. DOF H3 force feedback joystick, the AB9 with the Moza throttle quad. No, is it the throttle quadrant or their throttle system? Yeah, their HOTAS setup. And I got some simple Cytec, Logitech, whatever brand they are, 3D Pro rudder pedals. And then I'm rocking the Pimax Crystal Super. This is absolutely amazing. So I have done something different. In my initial video that I released, I flew maxed out settings, and so for this one I decided to kind of adjust my settings and go for a medium render quality, which surprisingly still looks amazing and better than the Pimax Crystal Lite because of the amount of pixels that this is putting out. And it's just absolutely impressive. Look at this house, or this lot right here. Can I get it in? Get it in? Get in? Whoa! Oh man, that was awesome. All right. Now the inside of this helicopter, guys, as we take a peek, let me just walk outside real fast. Look at this. This is literally the Cessna SkyHook, the CH1, made by Cessna. You know, not a Skyhawk, but a Skyhook. And the shaft runs right through the cab, which is just wild. And look at the front of it. I think it's a Lycoming engine. I'm not sure. I think it is. and I believe the engine cover can come off. So this is just absolutely awesome. And actually, you know what's funny? This helicopter came up in a group chat with Joshua Cowing, myself, and a couple other people, and I think I ended up throwing the picture in the group chat, and I literally said to Joshua, I was like, hear me out, you know, and I just threw the picture, and I think Drew and some of the other guys, they're like, you know, Joshua, like, if you create this, we will fly it. And this helicopter has been out for a little bit, so congrats to him for creating such a cool thing. And I think most of the feedback has been positive. If you guys have tried it, let me know in the comments below, and if you have not, let me know. I'm gonna leave it linked, man. You guys have to, if you like unique aircraft, this is definitely one to consider. Now, I haven't said where we're flying today. We are, I think it was FD57. It's a little airport grass strip here in Florida. That behind us was Tampa Bay Bridge, so we got Sarasota to my 10 o'clock, and I was going to go to the East Coast over in Vero, but there are some wild thunderstorms right now kind of cooking, and I don't know that I wanted to do that at this time. Just for this flight with this helicopter, I'm not super, I mean, there's certain helicopters that I'm really good with, and this one, I guess it's flying good, pretty steady. You know, it has a radio panel here, some lighting systems, mixture, cabin air. Oh, it's interesting, my governor's kind of going back and forth there. But guys, if you have not been to Florida, check this out. This is Florida, where these canals right here, everybody has access to the water if you live on it, and so many pools. Man, oh man, guys, the weather here in Florida, it is cooking right now. It's like 97 degrees. That house looks like it has 2 pools. What in the world? Yeah, you see the blue pools everywhere. But oh, right, cool. So there's a parking lot right here. Oh, a little bit of a torque issue there, or my flying skills. I always like flying, and especially when I'm doing like medevac, quote unquote, we'll use air quotes, right? Medevac missions. I like to come in and be like, oh, cool. So if I was a medevac chopper, where would I land? Now, I believe there are ways to get AI medevac missions through Same Tensions AI, I'm not sure, and it's possible. Now, a couple things to note. I'm not sure on the performance I'm getting right now with this headset as far as specific frames per second. I don't have the integrated counter going, and I don't have an OSD on-screen display showing me what the current rate is. What I will say is that I am having a blast. It's super smooth, super great. I have no issues. So with that being said, landing is the best part. Even with this 3 DOF motion rig, you can feel like the left skid touchdown. Let's see. Yeah, left skid, right skid. Beautiful. My gosh, this is so much fun. I just, landing and taking off is the best. Also, when you have a helicopter with gear, which I'll eventually do a video with that, it is just so stinking good. All right, so let's see, we just rotate this way, and then we'll go. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. There's something about having motion. This is like, you know, what I call the Holy Trinity. When you have motion, you have force feedback, and you have virtual reality. It's just this awesome trifecta, which just puts you in this place of complete immersion. Now, the truth is, yes, this setup right here, it is an expensive setup when you consider top to bottom, but I love showing this off to you guys, and you guys see what it is. And also, I mean, there's just always alternatives. So let's say, for example, you see me wearing the Pimax Crystal Light, and you're like, Jose, I can't afford a $1,700 headset. And I say, well, that's fine, because right now we have Pimax Crystal Light, you have the Quest 3. There's so many good alternatives for good quality headsets on the market that we have right now that are infinitely better, guys, than what we were rocking. When you look at some of my original videos, Reverb G2, Pimax, or not Pimax, the Oculus CV1 or CV2, like, good lord, man, like we were cooking with some very you know, simple headsets, much lower resolution. You know, I think that this Pimax Crystal Light, when it's rocking its full resolution, it's pushing 29.5 million pixels, you know, and what that results is it's in a level of clarity that's just, you know, unbelievable. Right now it's to the point that, you know, the Pimax Crystal Super really does need a beefy GPU. I don't want you guys being out there, yo, I got a 4060, I'm gonna get the Pimax Crystal Super. Don't. I mean, look, if your goal is Microsoft Flight Sim or DCS, I would highly recommend it. Or I'm sorry, I would highly recommend against that, because so many pixels require a lot of power, my people, right? So keep that in mind when you guys are considering, you know, what headset. Now, if you're saying, Jose, I plan to upgrade my computer within this season or within a certain time span, sure, okay, then consider getting a Super, or even if nothing else, the Crystal. But that's the way I would kind of rank them, and I'll probably do a video here on them, just talking about the Pimax Crystal Super, the lights, and then the, oh, let's land over here, guys. Check this out. We got I guess like a sports area, or the Quest 3. So, oh man, this is so good. Now I do see running at medium, it still looks really stinking good. I do not see any pixels. I mean, this is just so wild. I should be running DLSS 4 with the latest NVIDIA drivers, and oh my gosh, guys, I'm telling you, the best part about flying a helicopter check out the net. It's actually capturing the 3D depth of the net. Flying a helicopter in VR with a motion rig and force feedback is the landing and taking off. This is where the money is at, you know, and I always trying to be, you know, better and better, you know, get these things down just right. You know, sometimes just I'll practice a little hover if I can. You know, let's turn, check out my shadow. All right, hold on. Yikes. I'm just trying to see. Let me see if I can, you know, land right here on this. Oh god. All right, put it down. All right. I ain't that good. All right, here we go. So let me see if I can just get a little low hover. And sometimes that's the practice you're trying to do. Yo, I can see people, or what's supposed to be people in the stands. That's so funny. So force feedback is an amazing touch, especially when it comes to helicopter flying. Yo, that's so cool. Again, I just have to reiterate it. And so when you get into the flight simulation hobby, you don't need to have all three. Often I do recommend for you guys, you know, virtual reality, you know, and having your desk is a really good setup, and that's a lot of fun. If I had to pick two, I would think, you know, let's call it four categories, right? Because, and there's probably more, but I'm just trying to break this down in this, you know, little random thought process that I go through here as I drag you guys along through this the skies of South Florida. And we got Sarasota right over here. My buddy Jimmy's down here, which, by the way, going on a tangent, I have to go visit Jimmy and hopefully, you know, show off his rig. So I'm gonna see if he wants to do that. My buddy Jimmy has, I think, 4 flight rigs, and he has several planes. He's a pilot, an amazing experienced pilot. I've gone flying with him. My gosh, I've gone flying with 2 pilots recently, and both of these guys are unbelievable pilots. You know, they have lots of hours, very wise, you know, guys I've flown with, so it's been a lot of fun. But that's down at Sarasota. But, you know, when you look at VR, going back to my thought, there's virtual reality, force feedback, motion, and there's something else which is a little bit underrated, and it's the tactile feedback. For example, I'd like to say the butt kicker, right? So I have 2 butt kickers at this time. I got one under my seat. It's the butt kicker Pro, and then, or is it the butt kicker? I'm sorry, it's called the butt kicker LFE, powered by 1000-watt amp. And I'm going to show all this. I'm going to have a whole breakdown of this rig. If I haven't done it already, I'll link it. But the butt kicker LFE sits under my seat. It's attached with a hard steel plate, and then under my yoke console under here by my right knee in front of it is the butt kicker Gamer Pro. And so what this does is it creates a vibration around the whole rig that matches my RPM, any turbulence, and that's being ran through a program called Sim Hub. Now there's multiple programs. Butt Kicker has their own, there is Sim Hub, there's quite a few of them, but I have found Sim Hub to be pretty good. I think Sim Shaker is the name of another one. And what, oh, let's go right there to that landing pad. I like that. Oh, there's a little cul-de-sac. Let's go for the cul-de-sac. And so, oh, look at this over here. It's so fun. When you have a helicopter, my gosh, it is a blast just trying to find places to put her down that are challenging. But the Butt Kicker Gamer Pro adds so much to the immersion. And you don't need specifically the Butt Kicker Gamer Pro. There's so many different variants that you can do. But having that tactile vibration is the best alternative to having a motion rig. And I hear you saying, well, man, I definitely cannot. I lost it. Where is it? I think I see it. You know, I cannot afford a motion rig. And I get that. Or, you know, even in Jimmy's case where he did want a motion rig, I would highly recommend that he gets, you know, 5 Butt Kicker Gamer Pros. Put one on each rig. It just adds this tactile feel to your experience that is really hard to replicate, because when you're in VR, you see everything. You have the speakers, so you hear everything. You have your joysticks, so you know you have a sense of control of your rigs. Now, yes, you do not have motion, right? Let's say you don't have a motion rig, which most people do not. But I'm telling you, like I started my video today, I took off, completely forgot that my motion was pinned off, and the tactile. Oh, there we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, very nice. The tactile base alone from the vibration is enough to trick my mind when I've been on the seat. In fact, there was one time I think I did an hour flight. For the first 30-some minutes, I thought that the motion was on because I was IMC. It was just tricking my brain the whole time, and I felt the lean. In my head, I was leaning, I was turning. No, I wasn't doing anything. It was completely locked. But the base, the butt kicker alone fooled my brain into thinking that I had motion. I don't know if that translates. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's happened several times, and it was just a testament to how immersive it is when you have that butt kicker experience. So it's just a way for me to say, look, you don't need a motion rig. If you are in the market for a motion rig, that's great, nothing wrong with that. And I recommend it because it's absolutely awesome. But having this is funny, this plane I don't think I've ever seen down here. Having the butt kicker is an absolutely amazing way to just add a huge level of immersion. Oh, so this is the ILS critical area we see right here for runway 14 at Sarasota. It was really interesting because I actually vector planes to this airport all the time, and I guess I never realized they had a significant displaced threshold here. Oh, my friend disappeared. All right, so let's take a peek over here up ahead at the displaced threshold. It's pretty big. And then, good lord, how many places can they hold? So we got 1432 for the absolute full length, 1432 at whatever intersection this is. That's so interesting. I guess you can approach it from both sides, which is good. Oh man, so this is Sarasota. I think Sarasota Bradenton International Airport. What do we have right here departing? Looks like a 7.3 Max. Beautiful. Now, I am struggling with my recording quality. I do plan to try to bump that up a little bit. So if it's a little bit low, I do apologize. My OBS is stuck rendering at 1080 output, and I haven't been able to kind of get past that, which I'm kind of frustrated. But look at the amount of planes. This has to be an aftermarket airport. This is wild. Yeah, I got the fire station, the airport, the terminals, bunch of GA planes. They have a crossing runway 22 over here, which is pretty cool. Runway markings look fairly accurate. So yeah, I think this is the paid one. I don't know which one this is. Oh yeah, check out the palm trees over here. Oh man, the shadows are even there. That's hilarious. They're kind of baked in from the satellite imagery. That's so funny. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and land right here. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Alright, looking good, looking good. Guys, this was a blast. This helicopter is really cool. I'll leave it linked down below. I have Flight Sim Expo coming up next month here in just a little bit of time. If you guys are planning to attend, check it out. If you're not planning to attend, stay tuned, because I will be going to the event, reporting back live to you guys. Well, maybe somewhat live. But I'll be sharing what I find at the event. So thanks for flying with me. If you have any suggestions for places, helicopters, or things for me to check out in the sim, drop them down below. Peace out. Talk to you guys later.